Rock and roll and heavy metal have often been tied together for so many reasons. There's even a saying that God created rock and roll but Satan turned into heavy metal. Now that is kind of a cliche, but then again, so it's a lot of music. And today's music is very much one foot on the side of rock and roll and the other one, well, heavy metal. You pretty much guessed it right. Alright. Anyway, today's band is Underground Fire. This might be totally previously unknown name to you, and now there is the debut album called Ashes of Life. Pretty cool looking digipack, even though the cover image is a little bit too dark for to make kind of sense here. 2020 release by Critical Mass Recordings. This is out 6th of November 2020, that is. And now it's time to present Underground Fire in physical format. Now, why would I be talking about rock and roll music here is indeed a question, because I don't know if this fills the criteria for metal as such. Metal Archives at the moment doesn't even recognize it, the band, but you guessed it right. The link is right here. Rob Coffinshaker. Some of you might remember his band, the Coffinshakers, doing kind of a horror country music. And even though that's not metal enough, let me tell you that Rob indeed has a strong metal connection prior to this band and before Coffinshakers. After all, he's the guitarist of famous, or should you say infamous, band called Gehenna, the black trash act from Sweden. Now, since there is no Metal Archive site, I will just quickly show you the pages which are available at the given moment. So, for example, there is this Robin Coffinshaker's Underground Fire Bandcamp site, but it only features one track here, and I can only imagine that the actual CD will be here at some point. Then there is this Facebook site, which gives you a little bit basic information, also mentioning this new album and all that stuff, and it will be streamed and so forth. You can get the basic information here. And then there is this label site from where you can pre-order the CD for a modest price of 13 euros. And that's pretty much of it. There's all the information you really need in case you want to dig deeper into the band and at least give a little bit of music. The links are provided in the description box. Now let's talk about the music. Now, Underground Fire was totally, like I said, previously unknown name, at least to me anyway, and I had no idea what to expect really. So when I decided to play this for the first time, I was pretty much thinking like, why the hell does this vocalist sound so goddamn familiar? And I was like trying to figure out, but my brain's like blackout, zero, nothing, nada, 404. And I was like, okay, well, that's it. Well, just listen to it and enjoy. I mean, there's a good combination of kind of old school rock music and then again kind of old school heavy metal music. You know, the kind of a missing link between the two different genres, which then again are anyway related to one another. And then I was reading this promotional letter. They actually keep sending these ones nowadays. And I was like, all right, so this is Rob Coffinshaker. And that instantly, brought me like, hey, now I figure out why this sounds so goddamn familiar. Because, I mean, even though I'm not exactly a Coffinshaker's fan, but, I've been listening to that band with, when we've been driving to fest with my friends and all that stuff. So I have a little bit of experience with that. And that's why it had this kind of a Johnny Cash moment with rock and roll and heavy metal. And let me tell you, it fits really nicely. I mean, there is something very charismatic with Rob's way of singing. He has kind of a deep voice and he has this certain kind of a soft and dark and deep touch with the vocals. I really like what he's doing and it fits perfectly with this kind of a heavy rock metal. Now, obviously, for people who are looking for kind of a more extreme metal, especially for black and death metal, there's nothing here. That is, if you're fanatic and limited only to those genres. Then again, if you have a more, soft spot for hard rock, traditional rock, heavy metal, and all that stuff, and you don't mind having a little bit 70s and 80s feeling, or even a little bit of Dire Straits, I guess, this is definitely an album that is worth listening to. This is a kind of interesting because at the same time it sounds very, very familiar, like, yeah, I know the idea, I know the songs and blah, blah, blah. and yet it feels also a little bit fresh, like, Johnny Cash heavy metal. Can it be like that? Well, at least I liked what I was listening to, because, the songs have kind of a nice groove, a good feeling, and while it's kind of uplifting, it's still a little bit dark. I mean, it's not so happy-go-lucky kind of a, yay, it's not your next pop star doing music. It's a little bit dark, but just not extreme. It's not dive into darkness, jump into the abyss kind of a stuff, but more like somewhere like if Coffinshakers just decided to go heavy metal. I guess this is kind of an evolution in that sense. Now, this band started already as early as 2015, but it took quite a few years, 2018, to create the first riffs. And it was funny that they used materializes in songs because they were digitally released. So nothing really materialized until 2020. So it took like 5 years from the very idea to this one what we have over here. Now, this seems to be also available in vinyl format. That's what I was glimpsing, in case you wonder where my eyes were going to. So in case you just happen to like it, it's still time to get this CD or vinyl. I don't know, pre-orders might have already gone because of the day when I'm releasing this video. But anyway, it's still available there. So give it a listen, give it a go. I think this is definitely worth listening to. Interesting combination of traditional stuff and nice production, and especially good vocals. I can say, I dig it. Thank you for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.